All right, so this beautiful platform, Restream, tells me I'm live, and I trust it. So here's what I want to talk about today. Who are you being? Like, we are human beings, right? We know that. Okay, what are you? Well, I'm a human being. Are you? It's funny because what we measure most of all is everything by what we do. I'm an engineer. What do? Well, I figure out bridge load weights, or how to do roads, or an electrical engineer. I worked with a lot of power engineers that figured out how power lines worked and how to figure out the impedance and total power flow capability of power flow lines and all that kind of stuff. Then we have computer engineers and chip engineers. And my brother-in-law is a chip designer and does program that kind of stuff, heavy duty this, PhD for many, many years with the company and been with some startups and done really cool stuff. So those are all things we do. And I picked this background here, whoops, it's a picture out of an airplane. And I haven't been in an airplane for 2 years, so it's a couple of winters ago. But this is the view coming into Edmonton International Airport. And it's snowy, cold, wintertime picture. And in fact, if I were to fly into EIA right now, the airport designation is YEG, but EIA, Edmonton International Airport, and that noise was me knocking over my, one of those drink bottles that's made out of metal, so no panic. It had the lid on, so I didn't spill anything, fortunately. Anyway, it looks about like that over the window, and you can see the tail pieces of the airplane right there. Out of the wings. I picked that picture on purpose because it's kind of bleak. It's a bleak picture and doesn't look like much. And you look out there and you go, ugh, cold, and it is. And today is minus 27. And the low is going to be, I looked at the windshield this morning, it was minus 37. But this was not a recent picture, it's a couple years old. My point in doing that is asking the question, who are you being? Who are you being? And you might ask me, that's a stupid question. What are you talking about? Who am I being? Well, let's talk about it, because the answer to that question is the magic bullet you're looking for. If there is a magic bullet about how to get anything you want in life, there it is. Who are you being? It's how you see this picture. How you look at and interpret this picture. Now let's talk about why. I wore a scarf today because of that frozen picture, and it is minus 30 or minus 27, minus 37 wind chill this morning. Anyway, you can get up in the morning and have a list of appointments to face and be frustrated because your calendar's so packed. You can get up and have the same appointments and be just on fire, stoked. Look at all the people I get to talk to. I had a dear friend, who posted a post the other day and talked about the month of January for him. And he described the entire month. He's had some significant shoulder pain and some really damaging stuff in his arm and shoulder. And it's caused him a lot of pain, a lot of doctor visits and that kind of stuff. And he talked about being one way, viewed January as the hardest month of his life. And then he rewrote the whole paragraph, just as long, from a different place. And he said, gee, the month of January has been one of the most powerful months of my life. And then described exactly the same scenario, looking at how pain taught him things, how he listened to his body, and exactly the same events, but from a chosen perspective of seeing the opportunities and leaning into the learnings. Now, one of the things that I write in my personal truth and commitment is I am open. My stance about life is open. It's not defensive or closed. It's open because I lean into the growth that comes from every situation, every opportunity. Now, sometimes they're a slap in the face. So someone might say, Kellen, you suck for this reason or that reason, or I don't like this about you. Or I shared some music with somebody the other day and I got exactly no comment at all. Now, I can make that mean whatever I want to, and the fearful thing would say, oh, they don't like it and they're not willing to tell me that they think I suck. It could just as easily be something else, but that choice right there about how I interpret the silence affects everything. Oh, and the next time I want to share it, maybe I shouldn't. Oh, maybe they'll not like it too. Well, I don't even really know how the first person felt about it. So I'm going to change something here, and I want you to witness this change. Now, all of a sudden, my background is a sunny sky in Phoenix. And this is right outside of a house I used to live in, right behind, not behind me, but, that direction. I was standing on my driveway as I took this picture, and it was a beautiful neighborhood with beautiful palm trees and very nicely maintained and a nice HOA and this and that and the other. Now, I'm the same person, same scarf. I wouldn't be wearing a scarf in Phoenix because that day was probably 100 and hot. Same situation. So the magic bullet that I want to give you today, I want you to load your gun, your life, your thoughts, your feelings, every moment with this magic bullet. Who you choose to be in every situation determines your life. Situations come up all the time. You get something in the mail you didn't like. I got another friend, it's a client, just sent me a note about being diagnosed with a certain thing like yesterday, spent 11 hours in the ER. And my heart ached for them, completely surprised. 2 days ago, I found out another good friend of mine who was also a client a few years ago passed away. And it was really sad for me. Now, those unexpected situations happen. And you know what? I don't know about you, but for me, they happen every single day. Every single day. 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 things happen that derail my schedule, mess up what I planned, or give me a reason to think something negative if I want to, like I sent the music to somebody and there was no response. I'm slowing down because I want you to look in your heart here. The choice you make about how you respond to those unexpected things or potentially disappointing things says everything about who you're being. And more importantly, it creates your life. The choice of that attitude determines how you feel this moment and the next moment and the next moment. And the accumulation of those moments is the trajectory of your life. Is it flat? Is it down? Is it up? Are you growing? Are you dropping? Are you creating? Are you destroying? Are you stagnating? At any given moment, we're either growing or we're crumbling. The nature of life is change. The nature of life is either progress this way or this way. No system is static. We're either growing or crumbling. What I'm offering you is a chance to become aware that you have 100 times more power than you think you do. One of the things that I think frustrate people so badly is they feel like they're powerless. They don't control their destiny. They don't have control over their lives. And you see that in road rage. You see it in people being rude to clerks in stores and everything else. That all comes from the feeling of no control. I got news for you. You control every single aspect of your life. Back to my friend who had a terrible January or a great January. Back to seeing a snow-covered landscape that's frozen and uninviting, or a sunny lit sky with infinite opportunities. I invite you to understand and to declare this moment that you own and can create your ultimate life. What is the ultimate life? I don't know what you say it is. For me, it's a life of purpose. A life of prosperity in every sense of that word, and a life of joy. And you know how you create it? Serving with your divine gifts. Your ultimate life. Go listen to the podcast, Your Ultimate Life. Look it up on all the regular places. Your Ultimate Life, that is a daily 15-minute podcast where we talk about how to create your life, not somebody else, you here now, your life of purpose, prosperity, and joy by serving with your divine gifts. We'll see you tomorrow.